What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Carpool Gaming. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for this episode of the PlayStation Drive. And this is episode 81. I'm joined, as always, by the Supreme Court of Canada himself, Mr. Court Lalonde. What's up, Court?
Hey, isn't this is not the last one of December, is it? Second last?
I think let's call it second last.
All right. It's the one after the Game Awards, which was
It's the one.
It was kind of cool.
It was kind of
It was
cool.
a late night though. If anybody watched our live stream at Carpool, yeah, I was tired and irritable, and I had to leave.
You tired? What was it, like 6 p.m.?
Well, okay, like for not everybody out there, I go to bed at 9 o'clock because like I get up early. My daughter wakes up at 5:30. It's just it is what it is. So around the 10 o'clock mark, I was done. Like I literally just stopped talking and I was just staring at a screen. I didn't care what was happening, but you know, it is what it is. But you know what?
It is what it is.
Enough about me.
Enough about you.
Beautiful people joining us.
We do have two beautiful people joining us for our PlayStation Game of the Year podcast. We are very thankful, very lucky, and very honored to be joined by two of the greatest voices in gaming from the Creature Cast. We got Bobby and Steve. What's up going on, guys? What's up?
Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. My rabbi, Bill Clinton.
Yes. Oh my God. What a
That's all I got for you guys.
what a mic drop moment. Guys,
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be here with you guys. This is amazing.
Long time in the making.
It has.
Long time in the making.
Long time.
Long time, but we are officially all together for this PlayStation Drive X Creature Cast crossover episode to talk all things PlayStation in the year 2022 and our favorite games from it. But before we do that, we got to clean the garage a little bit. If you are watching this on youtube.com/carpoolgaming, make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that button so you're notified when things go live. You'll know about it. If you have a couple extra bucks to toss our way and tip your drivers, head to patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you toss in bucks and out comes a massive cornucopia of content for yourself and your wonderful ears to peruse. And especially if you do that this month, there may be a bunch more extra content for you to check out in December. So go over there and do that. It's free. If you're listening to us on your podcast network of choice, make sure you hit us with that follow, that subscribe, those 5 stars, leave a review. It helps us grow and reach all more wonderful people all around the globe to talk about all things PlayStation. And we're not really going to get into the news today, folks, but I do want to go around because I do want to see where everybody's been at. We're in December now. The end of the year is upon us, and we need to talk about our PlayStation Wrapped of 2022. We need to talk about what we've been playing on our playlists. And Steve, I'm going to start with you. Steve, what you been playing lately?
Oh my God. Just the other day I booted up Marvel's Midnight Suns for the first time. I felt like I was like a little behind the curve on that one. I had it sitting there waiting for me. I was like, this is going to be a perfect over the holiday kind of game. But for some reason I was like, I'm just feeling some Marvel content, you know, off the cusp of Marvel Snap and everything. I was like, yeah, okay. This is a good time to jump in. Traditionally, not a huge turn-based guy. You know, so I was really like kind of off put by this game just off the hop, just based on like what it was, this card-based, turn-based kind of game, almost like an XCOM style. So first couple hours, I'm diving in, kind of getting into the story of it and everything. It's a little slow for me. I was like, okay, I don't like there's something here. I just don't know if it's going to capture me. Now I'm about probably closer to 7-8 hours. I'm in. I'm really enjoying it so far. The story is actually super good. I know that a lot of people kind of had like some not complaints, but some grievances maybe of the writing and maybe the quippy kind of like one-liners that some of these characters have. I don't really mind them all that much. I think that a lot of these characters and the portrayal of these iconic characters are very wholesome in many ways. So the turn-based, I think, as opposed to like a lot of other turn-based games where, you know, the breakup of each turn kind of feels way too slow. This one kind of feels like, you know, you're getting back into the action, enemies attack, boom, 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 you're back into it. And I think that the gameplay loop of it, of picking your cards, attacking, and kind of building a strategy is really fun. So I'm enjoying it right now.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're liking it. I'll hop on here because that's pretty much all I've been playing lately too, is Midnight Suns. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck. I would recommend it on the Steam Deck if you're able to deal with the issues playing it on Steam Deck. Now, it isn't optimized for the Steam Deck. They've been upfront about it, that all of that work is coming. But pretty much you get to the point where like you'll go to bed every day, and pretty much every time you go to bed, the game will crash, and then it's just loading back in and then continuing on. Luckily, all the save states stay safe states and everything. And I've been saving like old school, like Game Boy Advance, like every 2 minutes, I'm saving constantly. But again, I knew about all of this going into it. So like, it's not as much of an issue for me because I'll take those hits to be able to have it with me on the go. But I'm loving it. Similarly, I'm really looking forward to the game. I think like the two sides of it, with like the Abby side, running around, exploring, solving the little puzzles, getting to know the characters, is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And yes, like I heard a lot of complaints about the character writing. I personally think it's great so far. Even there's a lot of people had a lot of criticism about the cast of characters, and I feel like they kind of addressed that in the game as to why are the Avengers here? Well, how did the Midnight Suns actually deal with the Avengers being here? So on and so forth. So I do think they at least tried to address it. I love the game, though. I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's a blast. The battles are so satisfying, and especially like getting that like 1, 2, 3 quick turn order. Like you just figure out the kind of, it's almost like Into the Breach style, the best way to kind of optimize this set of cards with the environment and what you have left. I'm loving it. I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I can't wait to keep going. The one thing I will say is playing on Steam Deck. I've apparently played it for 110 hours, which is definitely not the case. But that's just the good old rest mode with the Steam Deck. But okay. No, I'm having a blast with it.
I will also say, I just want to throw it out there. One other thing, you put Doctor Strange in any video game, I'm there. That's an easy sell. That's how you get my money.
I'm the same way with Spider-Man. Like as soon as I got him, I'm like, yeah, you're on the team, buddy. Let's go. And again, voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, one of my favorite Spider-Mans. Bobby, what about you, dude? What's been going on? What's been on your playlist?
Guys, I wish I could say I've been playing games, but I'm kidding. I've been playing lots of games.
You got us.
Yeah, you had me.
April Fools in December. No, I've been doing lots of Need for Speed Unbound, and it's incredible. I don't know if you guys like arcade racers, but this is the return for Need for Speed. It's unfortunately not as good as Forza Horizon, but I mean, for a Need for Speed game, it's been a long time in the coming. Like this has been 10 years in the making for the series. It's lost its way, and then finally with this new anime-inspired take, I mean, like I love it. I've been so deep in this game and trying to win every race I can, but it's a really hard game for what I thought was going to be an easy racer, but it's challenging every night. Last week I've been playing it. It's just one race after the other leads into these insane cop chases that take me at least 40 minutes every time I'm heat level 5, and it's just been trying to escape these guys. Like they're relentless, and it's a complete 180 from Need for Speed Heat, because that game was a lot easier. It was very by the book, and then Unbound comes and changes the game. It feels like hey, we're back home with Need for Speed, because this is my series. I love it way more than Horizon, and as a fan, like a longtime fan of Need for Speed, it's hitting every itch I've had in the last decade of, street racer to underground racing to all this. Like I love it. It's just a great experience.
Dude, it makes me so happy to hear that you've been liking it. El Babbins tweeted out a couple days ago that it was on sale for like $45 on Amazon Canada already. I hopped on that so fast, so I have the game now. I just haven't had an opportunity to jump in yet. But similarly, like Need for Speed is like my racer. I grew up on Underground and Underground 2, and like even like the Burnout that came after. I am so excited to hop into this, and I'm glad that you've been liking it. Would you say that does it scratch that same itch that like Underground 2 era did, or does it feel a little bit different than that?
I say it's close enough. I mean, nothing's ever going to come to those highs of Underground and Underground 2, because those games are perfect. Like they are the perfect racer. But this is close. This is as close as you could get. Criterion is back. Like they know what they're doing. They are taking the series somewhere where it needs to go, and there's still some growing pains, but like this is where it needs to be. This is where the series is gonna get back on the main stage, and you're gonna see it in contention for like Arcade Racer of the Year, Racer of the Year. You're gonna see these titles come up next year, because it feels good to play this game. Like it's just so much fun. I just haven't spent much time online, so I mean like that's like a separate, like they separate it. So there's not just integrated online, it's separate story mode and online mode. So I spent about 40 hours just doing the story mode the last 2 weeks, and it's been great. I mean I've just been taking my time and it's split up into weeks. Like the first week, you're just getting the hang of it. You're racing for pennies, and then as you get better cars, I mean, by the fourth week, you're racing Bugattis, and you're driving through Chicago at like 400 kilometers an hour while you're dodging Rams and Corvettes and just like getting hit by spike strips. It's amazing.
Oh yes, I'm so excited to hop in. That's definitely on the Christmas radar. Court, my dude, what about you? What have you been playing?
Well, besides NHL 22, because that's going to be my new MLB. That's going to be the game that I play every week. I have been diving into Lost Worlds, the DLC for the Far Cry 6.
The Far Cry 6?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It is the best Far Cry in years.
It is. I truly this is my frustration. Truly love that game. Far Cry 6 is so much fun. I love the story. I thought it had a great arc. It had a lot going on with it. And then when we got those first 2 DLCs and they were roguelikes, which is not my thing. And then they bring us the 3rd DLC. And when I first saw the trailer, I thought, wow, it's a really cool idea. You got this orb coming down from, I guess wherever, space or different time dimension. They never really explain it. Comes down, disrupts everything, and puts you into these different worlds. And you have to go through these rifts. Once again, though, it's a roguelike. So which frustrates me because I really like they put this mechanic in where you have to change the color of your gun, which changes the bullets to kill certain enemies. So there's blue enemies and there's red enemies throughout the levels, and they have different armor sets and such, but you have to change your ammo because your blue ammo won't kill the red guy. So I thought that was like something different to add to it. But at the same time, you're still doing that, roguelike, go through, pick up whatever gun that they give you through the box, and then you've got to go through the levels. And the levels are kind of cool because these levels have little puzzles in them and so on and so forth. But for me, I really just didn't want the roguelike aspect at all. And that's just my opinion. If you like that type of thing, I truly think you're going to like this because I think they've taken what they've done in the other 2 DLCs and they've actually made it better. Because the first 2 DLCs, I didn't really even give it, like, I played them for a couple hours and I wasn't into them at all. And then this one, I was like, okay, this is a lot of fun. But at the same time, after I went through the rift a couple times and got these shards that unlock these, I didn't really care anymore and I was out. So for me, I really wish they would have done something, especially with the ending of this game and that voice that we hear at the end. And now I still I got something to do with them, but not really. And it's like, come on, man. Like they could have just done a story of just this person. And I was that, you know what I mean? We all could have, I don't want to give away the ending if someone's played it. So it frustrates me because I truly enjoy the Far Cry series. And I feel like I got let down with this newest DLC because I really thought we were finally going to get that story we all thought we were getting, especially with the ending. Am I wrong? We all finished the game. Who else thought we were getting something from that guy?
I haven't played it. I can't.
Yes and no. I felt like they were going to do like the whole like interstitial thing that they always do, where it's like Far Cry 6, and then like the
blood.
Yeah, but that's what I
not
thought.
7, but yeah. Okay,
that's
sure.
That's what I thought Lost Worlds was going to be because it was a standalone DLC. Well, it's not standalone, but it's still not part.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's not part of the season's pass, right?
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying. I thought we were going to get a primal or something different.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing because I definitely had this piece of DLC on my radar because, like you, went through the first. I gave the first piece of DLC a try because I was like, okay, let's see what they can do with a roguelike and everything. I kind of like roguelike. For the most part, I just didn't like Ubisoft's version of it, to be honest, only because like the progression of it just didn't feel satisfying. Every time I felt like I was just getting like punched in the face every time I died, where I was like, okay, well now I'm just way back at ground zero and I just don't have like anything
unless you collect these shards.
Okay.
And that'll make it so you don't start all the way at the beginning. You just start at the beginning of that rift.
Right.
If you like roguelikes, like I'll say this, you would like this one because it's not as painful as the other ones. The other ones I felt they were just not nice.
No, like it just
too much.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like they were balanced all that well with the difficulty. Yep. So I hopped out of those really quick. I was like, okay, this isn't for me. So maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll give this DLC a shot.
I had a dance party on Friday night with my daughter and we played Just Dance 23. Thanks to my friends over at Ubisoft providing a code. We had a ton of fun with it. I don't know, man. We did Don't Talk About Bruno a couple times.
Nice.
Hey.
For me, Matt knows this. My gameplay this year is heavily revolving around what makes my daughter smile. So that and Mario Odyssey and Sonic Frontiers is what gets played a lot in my household. And Just Dance just got added to the repertoire because she was all over it. So, and I'm wanting to get to the Assassin's Creed last chapters, but I don't have time. I don't have time. I this weekend was, family stuff and grinding on NHL, and playing Just Dance and Mario Odyssey. I know I'm late to the party on Mario Odyssey, but like I just played it for the first time on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm jealous,
go.
to be honest.
Yeah, seriously.
Please don't get tennis elbow again from playing NHL.
So that's the difference. So like I've realized with MLB, which I'll talk about later in this episode, spoiler alert.
Shocker.
MLB only revolves around just pressing one button over
Mhm.
and over again. And I just doing this right now actually hurts. Just a little bit. It just but NHL and all these other games, they make you use all your hands and you're doing everything else. MLB the Show is literally
I like
just
that
one button.
motion.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
that. Do that more. Yeah.
I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
I'll grab this controller because it's
perfect.
easier. But it's just you're using your all your fingers and I'm using my thumbs and such.
For
Nice.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
an
As someone
easy
who
more
pulled
thing.
their shoulder actually today, I want to come over now. Just so I could get this.
Get one of these
yeah.
going.
Exactly.
You might want to, because Steve, I've got a hot tub. I've got like 4 or 5 different massage machines.
Yo, let's go.
I'm old, man. When you get to my
Okay.
age,
Let's put a quick pause on this podcast. Rip over to courts. We can finish it in person there from the hot tub. I think that's
hey,
the
I'm
perfect way to talk
gonna
about
have
it.
a new. I've promised, and I know Bobby's, and I've said this to Bobby and Steve. I'm gonna have a pool party this summer, and all of us nerds are gonna, play our switches while no one goes in the pool.
Oh, there's gonna be so many people who get burned. It's gonna be awesome. All right, well, let's keep this train rolling. Let's do a quick rip through some of the PlayStation related Game Awards announcements before we get into the Game of Year stuff. Because we do have quite a bit, I'm gonna rattle these off pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, and
if you have thoughts and feelings,
if we're gonna go to it, I played it.
I played it as well, so we'll talk about that when we get there. But let's I'll read off an announcement. Whoever wants to jump on, and then we'll move on to the next one. So, Death Stranding 2, we got a lengthy 4-minute trailer unveiled at the Game Awards. We saw Norman Reedus, obviously back as Sam Porter Bridges, much older. And by the way, all of these stories are going to be from PlayStation Lifestyle. I'm just going to rip through. Death Stranding 2, we saw it. Obviously, it looks as confusing as ever before. I'm excited for this one. I am a latecomer to the first one, but I ended up really enjoying it. The next thing that we learned about in the good old Game Awards was the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC. We got a release date of mid-April, April 19th, 2023, and it is exclusive to PS5. How do we feel, panel?
It's time to move on from PlayStation 4. Like,
yes,
of
let's
course.
bury it.
But it is a very weird decision to be like, well, we sold you the base game on PlayStation 4, but we're just going to develop DLC on PlayStation 5. I understand. Maybe they just want. Yeah, it's a kind of a weird thing. But that being said, I am just very overall happy that they now have at least 2-3 weeks, like a 2-3 week window between that and when Zelda comes out. Now they're finally safe. They're finally releasing content in a safe area where it's not just going to completely get overshadowed by another open world game.
We know Elden Ring DLC or something will drop that day.
Right?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it all. The entire presentation, I was waiting for, like, here's the Elden Ring expansion dropping on April 18th. I was like, because we know something's going to happen, because Guerrilla just has that bad luck and that bad precedent of, like, just whatever timing they have it doesn't work for them. But I'm happy that right now, just looking at the calendar and the window, they're safe. And I'm cool with that.
As Elden Ring comes out and just drops the same day, because you
Yeah.
know.
That feels personal at that point. If Elden Ring, because like, our next DLC, April 19th. And they just kind of like, that's all the video needs to be, is just Miyazaki staring at the screen being like, April 19th. And that's it.
That's all I need. That's what we all need. Just the date. And then
And that's
I'll
it.
be there.
We'll be there.
Day one.
Yeah, no, I do think it's interesting that they're finally at least, locking stuff on to PS5. I also agree. I think it's about time. So I'm glad we're finally starting to see the move happen. Interesting that, a good number of the install base will not be able to play it, but I don't think this is the first time we've had DLC that's been locked to PS5. We saw it with Final Fantasy VII with Intergrade. So that was locked to the PS5, wasn't on PS4. But, hopefully there will be a relatively simple upgrade path. But with all things PlayStation and upgrade paths, there won't be. Let's move on to our next story. The next one we're getting is Judas was announced at the Game Awards 2022 from Ken Levine's Ghost Story Games. 5 years after the formation of Ken Levine's studio, their first game, Judas, has been revealed for the PS5. It revealed a single-player narrative first-person shooter set in a sci-fi dystopia where the idyllic surface covers up a decidedly violent and dangerous underbelly. I've never played BioShock, so I'm going to hop off this one. Who wants to jump on Judas?
Jesus, it's BioShock in space, and I like Steve's expression on his face is justified. This was the biggest announcement for me from the Game Awards. This was the thing that I was like, I jokingly said it before we started the Carpool gaming thing. Sean was like, he's like, what do you think we're going to see? And I just went safe. And he was like, come on. And I was like, you know what? We're going to see the new BioShock. I'm finally going to get to see what Ken Levine does. He's been saying it from years. The last time we saw him was when he talked about the PS Vita and BioShock coming to it. And that's the last time we heard from him. And then I see the trailer starts and I see the hand on the screen, and then the hand, like, I'm like, oh my, like I was just in shock because BioShock is that game when I played it on the Xbox 360 that blew my mind. Like I'd been playing video games and I got out of it and I was in it, but I was like, I was liking the Xbox 360, but it became my Call of Duty machine for the longest time in NHL. And then I played BioShock and I'm like, oh my God, video games are awesome again. It's the one game that I'm like, Netflix, HBO, someone give me the series of before at the beginning, like how BioShock became BioShock. Like, give me that TV show.
Yeah.
I want it so badly, but that looked amazing. Everything about it. And Matt, I don't care whatever game I've ever told you to play. BioShock does not play old game old. It still to this day is amazing. Still to this day. I've finished it on every single console I've ever owned. I even finished it on my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X. It's one of those games where I can just go back and play it.
I agree.
The only BioShock I played was Infinite, which I did really enjoy. So maybe I will go circle back around to 1 and 2 because I have heard fantastic things, especially with the DLC with Minerva.
You can skip 2. It's fine. You can do the DLC and just skip 2.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
You have to do the DLC. You play 1, do the DLC, and then you're fine.
Okay. Anybody else on the panel excited about Judas?
No, because it's just BioShock in space. We've seen it before. I mean, to me, it's just like he promised something. He went back to what he knows. So no, I don't know. Don't
just really BioShock in space.
That's literally what it is. It's literally if you.
Captain, like, he was gushing earlier about Need for Speed Inbound or Outbound or whatever, and now he's like, just BioShock in space.
That was literally my tweet. Ken Levine left irrational. He's like, I'm just going to make BioShock in space, and here we are.
That's okay with me. BioShock Infinite was just BioShock in the sky. Let's just keep going higher.
Well, no, BioShock Infinite was BioShock in the sky, but not done as well. Let's say what it is. Say like I said. BioShock was hard. Like when they did BioShock 2, and I was like, yeah, no, I get this. You want to do something different. But it's like when a band like puts out a great album, and they're like, you know what we should do? We should do something cool and like out there on the next one. No, you know what you should do? Just stick with the good stuff. Okay? And if I can get the good
literally
stuff,
another studio making BioShock right now. Like that's literally what they're doing right now. So it's like, why does he have to do the same thing? I know
because he's the one who created it.
Yeah. Okay, but that doesn't mean he knows what he's doing.
Ooh.
We'll see. You know what? I'm just gonna let this one go. Because Bobby, I like you.
They just hired so many good staff for the new BioShock studio.
Cool.
Like they just hired, who was her name? It was just I'm actually gonna look it up. I'm curious.
Didn't BioWare make the last Mass Effect? And they were like, that sucked.
Which one?
The last Mass Effect Andromeda was terrible.
No, they're just
talking about like I'm just using an example of a studio that's made a game. Just because somebody like you're saying these great people. Until I play the game right now, all I've seen is a trailer for Judas, and it looks great.
So BioShock, so Cloud Chamber just hired Liz, I can't pronounce her name, Albel. She was the narrative director on Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
That's pretty.
Great
that's a
game.
Good get. That's a good get.
It's a very good game.
That's already more interesting.
But you know what I
Judas.
haven't seen? I haven't seen anything from that except what you just said. And I just saw a trailer to Judas, and it looked great.
I know,
and I want to play it.
Ken Levine just reproduced the same trailer from 8 years ago, so it's like this is exactly what he did with BioShock. It's the exact shot-for-shot remake.
We'll see.
I'm
So
okay
I
with
don't
that.
know.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not
too. I
really
want it on Game
excited
Pass.
yet, because you know what? There are better games that are announced at the Game Awards that I think are way more exciting.
Which, let's keep this train rolling. I hope both of these games are going to be good, and I'll upset Court by playing none of them.
Bobby's gonna fight me.
I will. I love BioShock Infinite, but at this point, Ken Levine promised us something we've never seen before, and he went back to what he knows. So, sorry, Ken, but you are a one-trick pony for me.
Ken, the one-trick pony. Let's see what happens. When
and like, I would like to be proven wrong. I will be proven wrong. I would like to die on that hill if that's true. But like, from what I've seen, it's literally BioShock in space. When there is a new BioShock coming, so it's like
Can't
I would
wait.
have exactly.
Be amazing.
I'll play it, but like I wanted
BioShock
something
in
more
space.
from him.
BioShock in space, indeed. The next thing that we learned about was Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon, which got a release window dropped at TGA 2022. The release window being 2023. Never played any of the Armored Cores. I looked up gameplay from 5. Didn't really do much for me, so I'm gonna pass on this one too. Anybody stoked about Armored Core 6?
If you liked, they're okay. They're fun little mech games, but like they are difficult. They're from level difficult. But it's been years since I played them, so I mean I don't know yet. Need to see more first. But it looks cool.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think I've played like one of them. I don't even know which one I've played, to be honest, because it was so long ago. Obviously, this franchise isn't what I go to From Software for most of the time. But that being said, that trailer just looked spectacular, just in terms of its fidelity. And then also the fact that it's coming out so close after Elden Ring. I'm like, these guys don't slow down. Like, all right. And then knowing that there's more Elden Ring stuff coming out, I'm like, whoa, it's all right.
They are firing off on all cylinders. But yeah, that trailer did look beautiful. So if the gameplay looks anything like that trailer,
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, exactly.
I might have to. Let's keep this train rolling because we got Crash Team Rumble announced at the TGA 2022, arriving sometime in 2023. And it's a 4v4, if I remember correctly, multiplayer game. Looks interesting. I don't really know what to feel about this. I loved Crash Bash back in the day, but I don't really know if this is going to scratch that same itch. Panel, how do we feel about Crash Team Rumble?
Should have done Crash Team Racing. I don't know why they're doing this, but
I'm kind of with you. Yeah, I need
design for who's gonna play this? Kids are like the only people I could see playing this because I don't even want to boot this up, to be honest with you. It just seems like it should have been a free to play game. That's what I think.
Sure.
Like a Fall Guys style game. Like literally,
Bobby is correct on this one. His take before about BioShock was terrible, but this one is perfect.
No. My takes are always pretty good. I mean,
Bobby, I'm just messing with you, buddy.
I know you are, but I like to be proven right. I like it to be right.
I can see that. I, as a married man, know when I'm wrong. What?
Oh.
I need to see more of this Crash game. I saw the trailer. I was like, this seems fine. I guess like a fine concept.
It's fine.
But as far as like the longevity of it, I would have much rather seen CTR 2 or something like that, or a new mainline Crash game, something like that. But yeah,
can you imagine?
We all know Activision doesn't like making good games. They just like to sexually abuse people. Oh.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Fired up today.
No, I'm with you. I don't know. I don't really know what to feel about this game. I have no idea what it's doing. Can you imagine the pop-off that would have happened if it was CTR 2? Sadly,
oh my God,
not the world that
if
we live in.
Anything but this, I would have been excited.
Right. The next thing that we learned about, which I'm incredibly excited for, and I know Court just cannot wait. Final Fantasy 16 got its release date on June 22nd, 2023. I cannot wait for this. The trailer looks fantastic. I loved everything I saw. That collector's edition looks beautiful, which I'm sure will be astronomically priced. I cannot wait for this. How do we feel about Final Fantasy 16?
You don't like it, I don't want to be your friend. That's all I can say. So I mean,
no.
you
guess we're not friends, Bobby.
We can't be
Guess
friends. Oh,
I know,
man.
but you guys just
I
like,
don't
I don't know.
care.
You're,
I
you're
don't
just in
care for that.
gaming.
No,
I
no,
question it.
no, I don't care. I don't care for that. No,
Oh
no.
my god, it looks like
Cord,
you're,
we can
this
hang
is
out
game of
together
the
now.
year for next year. This
Hey,
is game of
dude,
the year 2023.
if you like it, like I'm all for it. You can ask Matt. I will try any game Matt tells me to try. If I don't like it, I don't like it. It's just I at this point in my life where I'm just like, I am not going to spend 4 hours on a game before it gets good or all. Like, it's just I'm not here for that anymore. If it doesn't get me in the first hour, I'm outie. All right, I'm outie 5,000.
Not an 80, but an Audi. I don't know. I'm stoked on this. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be awesome. Steve, not a big Final Fantasy 16. Not on your hype track.
I'm not a big Final Fantasy person in general, to be honest, and to kind of similar to Court. If we didn't have like a great game coming out every single week, of course I would try to invest some time into this because like just watching the trailer, I'm jealous. I don't like Final Fantasy games because just based on like the trailer, the concept, and everything, it looks like a really fun game. I just know I'm going to get 2 hours into it and be like, I don't want to play this. I'd much rather play something else,
Like
but
Vampire Survivors.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I got it on my phone now, by the way.
Me
On
too.
my phone.
Oh my god. It just never ends. But
So
no,
good.
if we were back gaming in like the early 2000s where there was like,
Time.
one good game, or time,
When there was
or
time.
like one good game coming out, every other month or something, of course I'd pick up Final Fantasy 16 and give it a good try, try it out, but nah, I probably won't pick this up, unfortunately. It's not for me. But I'm happy for everyone else. I will say that.
I can't wait.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm on Team Bobby on this one. I cannot wait for this game. I think it's going to be
I am shocked.
fantastic. You should be shocked. You should be
Honestly,
shocked.
Steve, we do a show
like JR
where
said,
Matt and I do
gamers,
like
okay?
the opposite of all games. It's like Matt's like, I really like this game, and he's like, you don't like it. I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah. But
It's very rare.
the next announcement that we got is one that the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is coming on May 26, 2023. We got Kevin Conroy voicing Batman. We don't know if it's his final performance or not, but he'll be there, which is fantastic. I'm of two minds on this trailer. I think it's really cool. I'm sure that they went with this because of Kevin Conroy's passing, just to show him there. But I do want to see some an actual gameplay chunk from this game. This thing is less than 6 months away, and we haven't had like a good look at what the game actually plays like. I'm hopeful for it. I hope it's gonna be good. I hope Rocksteady crushes it. Obviously excited that Kevin Conroy's back as Batman. I just want to see what this game actually looks like.
Big same. Everything about it was touching. It was the oh my god moment on the during the Game Awards, but right before we got the announcement that it was Kevin Conroy, all I was like, okay, I if I don't have gameplay, like I'm not getting pumped for this game anymore. And it's awesome that he's in the game, but I have zero hype for it right now. It's not going to be, nothing tells me I should be pre-ordering this game. Nothing.
I'm exactly right there with you. I did kind of, pop off a little bit when, Batman comes in, you hear the Arkham soundtrack. Yep. I was like, okay, this is really cool. You hear his voice and everything. You get the touching, thank you, Kevin, and everything. I was like, that's very nice. That's a great trailer for a presentation like this. But in terms of getting me to want to play this game, I'll be honest, I don't even know what this game is.
Yep.
So, you know what? We're 6 months away from this. The hype levels for this are an all-time 1.
It's Batman in space. Right, Bobby?
No, this is better than BioShock in space. I'll give it that.
I'm also on Team Bobby on this one.
But I don't know what this is. We don't know anything about this
I
game.
feel like the lower level of this podcast, cool. Upper level, not so cool. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, prestige gaming is Final Fantasy. Let's just leave it there. That's when gaming is at its best. Is Final Fantasy. It's hammy, it's dark, and it's corny.
With your chocobos.
Chocobos, I wish were real. I don't know anybody who doesn't want a chocobo.
I don't want.
I don't want this giant chicken thing that peck my eyes out. Where do I put this thing that poops everywhere? Where
do you put your dogs? You put them in your bed.
I don't have one. I put them out of my house.
Oh
no.
That tells me everything about you.
Let's keep it rolling to our next announcement because Court, I'm not even gonna ask you you can just mute your mic. I know you don't care. Star Wars Jedi Survivor release date and gameplay premiere at the Game Awards 2022. We got the confirmation of March 17, 2023. We saw an awesome looking trailer. Cannot wait for this. All about it. Again, Court, don't worry about it. I know you don't care. This is just more space stuff. Who's excited about Star Wars?
This is better than BioShock in space.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
Can I, as someone who's extremely excited for it, asked to pre-order it, and the wife said no. I totally get why she said no. When you do the conversion on the $2.99 US for us, it's a tough one. So have you not seen the collector's edition? It comes with the hilt, which you still have to buy the saber part, which you can. My brother even showed me links and all that. The saber only buys the hilt, right? So it's the same ones you can get at Disney Springs or at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But you have to buy the screw on top, which you have to order from Disney, or you can order from second hands that do fit on it. Those are additionally $100. But the $2.99 US, when you convert it for us, it's a spicy meatball. So it's just not worth the $400 and close to $450 with tax and shipping. And I couldn't. I wanted to, but there is a certain scene in the trailer where he sees two characters. And the one guy, it doesn't look kind of good. I just want to say it. Like, the animation doesn't look that good. And I was like, was it a bad drawn? Like, I was surprised it got into the trailer, to be totally honest. The guy almost like looked like he was superimposed. You know what I'm talking about? It almost looks superimposed on the screen. Everything else about it, I'm still trying to figure out. I've asked my cousins who are extreme, more Star Wars nerds than anybody I've known. I was like, who is in that bafta tank? Just let me. And they can't figure it out. They're trying to like go through lore.
It looks like circular.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out because they think, what did he?
I really want it to be Seaboth, which is like from like the old Thrawn trilogy back in the day.
Oh my god, yeah.
And again, we're building to Thrawn in live action, so like if they take that character and kind of respin it and bring him into this as an introductory point, I can't wait for this game.
That would be cool, but I thought I want to know who's in that BAFTA tank. Like, is it our main baddie, or are we going to get DLC down the road where there's a co-op aspect to this game, which would blow my mind. But that the hilt at the end where it looked like the same one from Kylo Ren, so cool. And the fact that cool. Like he is now canon, like he is in Star Wars lore. All of everything is this is a continuation of a Star Wars story. That we know we're getting a Disney Plus app. Like, we know we're getting this. Like, we all know. Yeah. Like, and Sean's not in the chat right now to like get mad at us for talking about Disney Plus or any Star Wars stuff. But hopefully, we get more from this. But this game it blew my mind. But still, Judas was a better trailer. Yeah, I said what I said.
This is
story
mid.
You think
mid?
I don't know.
Not stoked about the Jedi Survivor trailer, Bobby? Didn't do much for you?
I mean, the first game was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything mind-blowing.
When you submit an article, Steve, do you just like cringe and Bobby's just like, oof,
a lot of his articles go straight to the trash bin.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I'm not that. I'm easy to be impressed. It's just like we've seen like all these games before. So it's like, what can they do that's different?
What do you want?
Me? I need Final Fantasy 16. And
see what I mean? He's like, I want my Final Fantasy like dressed up in like a different Western architect or whatever they do. They just like change it up. Like
Final Fantasy in space.
Cute little hat this time, and they're like,
we need a Final Fantasy in
revolutionary.
Space. Final Fantasy 8 in space would be perfect. They should have done a sequel.
There you go.
But that's the thing.
I really like that Survivor trailer with one glaring exception, and that was Cal's beard.
Yeah,
the shot where he comes out, it doesn't do much for me. He comes out with that beard, and there's one shot specifically where maybe it's just the lighting on it that's like hitting it or something. It just does not. It looks like someone just like kind of like put it like on him rather than it growing. Yeah, it just But I like a lot of like the animations of the fight styles and stuff like that. There's the one scene with like the other dude like flipping over his back and stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm in. I like it.
No, it looks cool. I'm definitely excited to play it. But Respawn, if you're listening to this, just give us a Titanfall 3. That's what I want from you.
I also want a Titanfall 3. And Respawn, if you're listening, work on your beard physics. You got to clean up that beard. Steve knows
That's
what's
right.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll touch on 2 last announcements as we roll through before we get to our Game of the Year conversation. Hades 2 announced at the Game Awards 2022. Players will take the role of a witch whose objective is to kill Kronos, the Titan of Time and father of Zeus. We got a pretty cool looking gameplay trailer. I cannot wait for this game. I absolutely love the original Hades. I had so much fun with it, and I cannot wait. I never really expected to get Hades 2 because we've never really had a proper sequel from. This is Supermassive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Supermassive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've never really had a proper sequel from Supermassive.
Yeah, we never had any sequels.
So that's what I mean. I'm excited to see.
According
what
to Ryan Turford, and he is never wrong.
Yeah, he's never wrong. I can't wait for this. I'm stoked about this. Panel, how do we feel about Hades 2?
So it's super giant game.
Super giant. I always
get mixed up too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready for it. I want it right now. Like if they had it right now, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be playing it right now. Yep. I would be sitting on my couch watching TV and getting upset that I keep dying in Hades because that's the best part about Hades. Just doing another run. And yeah, no, I want it. I want it right now. Like I super giant. Give us the game right now.
I want it.
Drop it in.
So bad. Steve,
I really gotta give Hades like a solid try because I spent like 2 hours into it and it just wasn't clicking at the time. I think it was just like a me problem of like not being into that kind of game. Exactly. Yeah, I still have it, installed on my Xbox and everything. So maybe that's a holiday game because like as soon as knowing that we have like a sequel on the horizon, I was like, oh, I really do need to give it like the full go, like go start to finish with this game because I mean I like roguelikes, so I don't see why I wouldn't like Hades.
Hades just feels so good. Like it's so satisfying to roll through. I will say that it took me a couple hours for it to really click. Like the first couple hours was very much a learning. Okay, this is what's going on. But as soon as it clicks and it grabs you, it does not let go. Let's touch on one last thing with Forspoken getting a demo that is live on the PlayStation Store right now. With that game coming out January 24th, 2023, it is just over a month away. I hopped into the demo. I thought it was all right. I thought the combat feels great. I found it to be very overwhelming given, that they tossed you in with a lot going on. I'm excited for that game. I think the demo kind of sold me on it's pretty much exactly what I'm expecting. I'm feeling like a 7.5 kind of, I think this is going to be a good game that some people will really resonate with. I will say I found that I saw a lot of complaints about the banter and the conversations. I didn't think it was going to bother me. It did. I actually did find that it was a little bit too much. And for someone who, swears a lot, even the swearing felt a little bit forced at a couple iterations, in my opinion. I'm excited for this game, but I think that this demo, this kind of confirmed that I think this is going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be great, but I'm still excited to hop in and check it out when the full release comes. How do we feel about Forspoken? Did anybody else check out the demo?
I played it all. I thought the combat was janky and the swearing drove me crazy.
Oh,
I just didn't. It just felt. I thought it had a lot going for it. I like the open world aspect. I like the upgrade aspect. I like the. I felt the enemies were kind of easy for no reason. I just would have very issues with the combat and how like the different holding of the buttons. It just felt weird and it felt very janky when I was trying to go up walls and I was holding circle to like move around real fast and I was getting frame rate drops and it's a demo. I just want to see the full version of the game. I never judge a game based on their demo. Mm-hmm. I still want to play it, but I really hope the main character could just stop swearing forever. I'm not a big fan of swear words, period. So oddly enough, and it's only since my daughter was born, but it was just weird. Like it's just out of place. Like why are you doing it? Are you trying to be cool? Is there someone there that I don't know you're trying to be cool around?
The bangle.
I mean, it is a fact that if you swear, you're really cool.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Steve. Anybody?
I like the demo. I mean, it feels like someone else's save file, but I mean, it's cool. No, the system's cool. Like the battle system, I think is an evolution of Final Fantasy 15. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I knew that. I knew. He's like, it's kind of like Final Fantasy.
It is because it's the same team.
Yeah.
Same team. Oh, okay. So
maybe why we didn't like it.
Because I don't know. You seem to like Ken Levine's style, and he's questionable.
I love this new rivalry that I have. I love it.
just for Bioshock. Like Bioshock's story is good, but its gameplay was always very just like, okay. And then you get games like this where it's fast paced. Like it's not just like a traditional RPG.
Yeah, but it has like this crocodile that I could like beat up with my foot. Like it, you
Yeah,
think
wait,
this
hold on,
thing
hold on.
that
Court. Does Bioshock have a crocodile that you can beat
No,
up with
I'm
your
talking
foot?
about Forspoken. Like
I know.
how
Okay, so
easy it
then
was.
okay, there we go. Forspoken's cool.
Oh, you need that. Okay.
All you know, Forspoken needs to do is tutorials and adjust the voicing, because like that stupid gauntlet she's wearing, like it's coming out of the speaker on my controller and the TV, and I can't hear him. It just doesn't line up. So like let people select it from their controller or from the screen, because like I had no idea what she was saying to this stupid glove she was wearing. And that was pretty much it. Like the systems just need better explaining, because like I got in, I played it, and that was it. I was like, how do I upgrade? What is this for? What does this do? There was no explanations. Like they should have really considered that. But like I understand making a demo is very hard.
I will
just like the good thing is Square Enix, you're doing great. You're putting out demos which no one else is doing. Just add tutorials, because like I was lost. I just went to the next objective and I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, even the tutorial that's there is very, very light. And again, like you said, it does feel like jumping into somebody else's save. The one thing that I will say that I wasn't a fan of just outright, which I don't know if it would be fixed in the main game, was the UI. I don't like the almost like GoPro fisheye lens that seems to be on every piece of writing. Like it just felt like I felt the UI to be a little messy and a little bit all over the place. But I'm with you, Bobby. I think the combat's solid. I think it's fun. I'm curious to see more from it when the full release hits. But I will say that I wasn't a fan of the UI, and I don't know if that's again because we jumped into a part of the way through adventure, or if it's something that you'll adapt to as time goes on. But yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan of how the game's UI looked.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm excited. We got a month to go, so like hopefully it turns out better than everyone's already kind of funneling it to be a shitty game, because it seems like everyone's just very opposed to it. But like I previewed it, I liked it. Seems like they have something there. They just need to finesse it a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a good game. I think at the worst, it's going to be a good game. And that's kind of where I'm excited about it. But without further ado, my friends, let's talk about our PlayStation Game of the Years. Now, we don't really have any like rigid, criteria here. The way that I picked my three was just, these are 3 games that I played on PlayStation this year that I really enjoyed, that I think should be kind of celebrated. I left off the ones that you can play on PlayStation. I just didn't play them there I'll give those to my honorable mentions. But let's kind of kick things off. We'll go game by game. We've got 3 games each, and if anybody's got any honorable mentions, we'll save those for the end. And you know what, Steve? You've got the pen up. I feel like you're ready to go. Why don't you kick things off? Hit us with your first PlayStation Game of the Year.
Are we doing like ranking of any sort, or just shooting from the hip?
Just shoot from the hip. We have no rules here.
I'm going Stray.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think for a lot of people, this game will be like easy points just because it's a game based on a cat and everything. But
who's that? It's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a cat. But Stray for me was just kind of this, very emotional story for me. I mean, I've been very public with it that I lost a cat this year, so it came out at a very precedented time where I was kind of like grappling with all of that and everything. Didn't help that it was an orange cat too, so seeing this orange cat go through, I was like, oh boy, this is really going to mess me up. It very much did. But that being said, I thought it was almost like a cathartic experience going through it too. I also think that what the team did was place this game in a very interesting spot where it was like it's post-apocalyptic. There's no humans anywhere, so you're interacting with like these android type characters and getting to know them and hearing their backstory and how they're trying to be like more human and adapt to like a post-human world. Go through all these different puzzles in these like semi kind of like open spaces, open hubs, and kind of going through it, solving all these puzzles and everything. That being said, I mean, I think that when they introduce quote unquote combat is where the game kind of falls short. But aside from that, I think the exploration, the visual aesthetic of it, the kind of this neon cyberpunk-esque kind of game, and then it, just being about an adorable cat, I think, yeah, easy points. But for someone like me, in this time and space, 2022, it was a game I needed and a game I adore. Yeah, it's on my list.
I'm with you, dude. Stray caught me off guard. I was really excited about it for a really long time, but I think how much I enjoyed it was what surprised me. I think it kind of nails everything it sets out for. I think it's a ton of fun. It's really, really cute, really sweet, and even the story is a really interesting ride. I gotta say, in like the first 5 minutes, it already had me pulling on my heartstrings, where I was just like, no, 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 you better not Stray.
Yep.
But like that game is it's
Oh, when the
really
thing
great.
when it falls from the
Yeah,
thing and
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
not
Oh,
cool, dude.
Yeah.
Not cool.
But I thought this hit at the perfect time as well. Like I thought I had like a nice week to itself. There wasn't a ton around it. But yeah, I think Stray is totally worthy of being on your list, Steve. And I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. I'm glad it hit that way for you. Court, what's your game?
You know what? I'm gonna pick a game that no one else will pick because if we only pick, we'll see. Mine will be MLB The Show. And I have to because I played it. I put 300 hours into this game. Like I had it on Switch, I had it on Xbox, and I had it on PlayStation. It is a PlayStation first-party game. It happens to be on Game Pass. I guess that'll be a running joke for the rest of its life. But I haven't been this addicted to a video game in years. I don't know what it is about this game. The way they have it, so it's like no money spent, where you can still collect all the cards. I was a huge card collector growing up of sports. It hit all the right buttons. All the classic Blue Jay cards were there. It was just so many things, and the grind wasn't punishing. It rewarded you. It was like it's not like the EA Sports games where they're like, "Hey, play this game for 5 hours, and we might give you a pack of cards to upgrade your team." This one was like, "Hey, play this game for 5 hours, and here's 500 packs of cards you can open." And you're like, "Oh my god!" And it rewards you for playing. So I had a lot of fun with it. If you're a sports fan, I highly recommend it. If you like baseball, if you like any sports, I can't say it enough. I've talked about it so much on this show that I felt I would do a disservice by not saying that was the first game because Jesus, I like that game.
Dude, I would have been like shocked. Like it would have been a moment where like I'd have to pause the podcast, drive over to your house, and just make sure that it wasn't somebody else with a court mask on. If you didn't bring up MLB The Show, I know how much it resonated with you. I know how much it led you to physical injury, but I'm glad how much you enjoyed
Seriously.
it and how much it lived with you this year because it really felt like it did. It really felt like it was just another part of you for a little while, and I'm glad that it hit that way.
Too much,
a little bit. Bobby, what's your first game?
Stealing Elden Ring from anybody who had it. So sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Well, there's only like 4 PlayStation like games that we're all gonna probably agree on, right? So
Yeah.
I'm taking.
Oh yeah, he's wearing the shirt of one, and we all can say God of War like it's gonna happen.
Oh, that's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, I know, right? I was gonna take God of War, but I was like, we're all probably gonna have that. But no, Elden Ring is just like it's a visceral game that I'm just so happy exists. It does everything I've ever asked from the series, like the Soulsborne game. It just elevated the entire thing to this new plateau that I don't think anybody can replicate. I mean, they're the only studio that continues to elevate the genre, and that.
I have one caveat to this.
I love
people love this game. I have never played it, so I'm not going to put anything against this game. But as someone who's tried to play a lot of the games that they've made, I've tried.
Right.
My biggest issue with it, and I know this is against everything about the game, but it's not for everyone because not everybody can play this game.
It's true.
And it's kind of frustrating. As someone that I watched Sean play it a little bit, like on his stream, I watched it this morning while I was having my breakfast at like 5 a.m. because he played it the night before, and he is loving it. And Bobby, you have raved about it, and Steve has tried to convince me to play it many, many times.
I know.
I don't have time to watch even Sean. I watched Sean this morning, and I had to fast forward. I'm like, oh my god, he has been doing this for an hour with this one guy. Like, I get it if you like this game, but at the same time, if the story is that good because they won a game award about it, why are we like let other people play the game? And I don't think it would take away from the game at all. That's just my opinion. If you're gonna, I love the fact that PlayStation now with their first party is pretty much just like, hey, you want a story mode or do you want to get the living daylights beat out of you? We'll give you both. Figure it out what you want to do. Like, look at The Last of Us for a perfect example. It's, hey, you want to play like you're gonna get the living daylights beat out of you, or you could just play the story. I want to play Elden Ring. I just don't think I have the time to play Elden Ring.
You know what I will say though, Court, is that like for me, and I'm not one who enjoys the Dark Souls series. I tried to get into Sekiro, didn't click either. I think Elden Ring was the first FromSoft game that I actually did end up investing a ton of time into and got pretty deep into it. Despite me being also in your corner where I'm like, I don't like